Hi everyone, welcome to my review of Wes Anderson's Bottle Rockets from 1996. Yes, we are back once again, this time around to discuss the feature film debut of Wes Anderson. And yes, it's been a while since I kind of watched, Wes Anderson film, and this is of course based on his 1994 short, of course. But this film is not only the kind of debut of Wes Anderson, it's also the debut feature film of the Wilson brothers. So yes, Owen and Luke Wilson, of course, these two, as well, and so these three individuals marking the kind of feature film debut, of these three. So very very big event here, and of course, the first Wes Anderson film, and I've reviewed a few of his films on the channel before, but yes, let's kind of first of all say a spoilers alert for this. Film. So if you haven't seen this film, I simply recommend seeing it, and then coming back to this kind of discussion here, this review. I guess it will be fairly brief, in comparison to some of my other kind of, videos, on the channel. But I will be getting to some plot points. So I guess if you haven't seen this, be warned, for spoilers. But yes, with all that said, let's kind of discuss, my brief thoughts, on this, after kind of first time viewing, of course, and. Back in I guess back in January now. So it's been 2 months roughly since I saw this film, and just kind of letting it sink in, and really gathering my thoughts on this, and of course deciding on a rating as well. That's sometimes I guess why I kind of wait a little bit before kind of going into some reviews, perhaps just to get the rating more precise, and kind of avoiding future reviews kind of being too different to the kind of initial thought. Just gathering my thoughts, and this one, I must say, a truly special film. I'll say that now. Really, from the opening sequence, I just knew I was in for a treat, and I think truly this film here, Bottle Rocket, is a special achievement, and I think it may not be my favourite, my absolute favourite kind of Wes Anderson film, but I really think this is just a stunning piece of cinema, and straight away Wes Anderson knew how to direct the eye, and also kind of tell this story in this kind of charming way, but also very very kind of emotional. I guess outcome, and just different moments throughout the film that are so felt, and just realised these characters. Of course, Owen Wilson and Wes Anderson wrote this film, so really interesting, of course. And yes, these two characters, Anthony and Dignan, played by the Wilson brothers. Of course, Luke Wilson playing. Anthony, and he is essentially the protagonist, of this film, and Owen Wilson as well. It's very, very big, in the film. These two mostly throughout, the kind of runtime are together, and these friends, and yes, Owen Wilson's character of Dignan hatching a plan, kind of a 75-year plan, of these different various heists, of course, blueprinted, kind of mapped out, and then of course Abe Henry is this kind of kind of part-time criminal, and they plan eventually to kind of meet up with him. And yes, we have this other character of Bob as well, played by Robert Musgrave, and he is it's essentially a lot of the film is this trio of characters, especially in the first act, and then the final act again when he returns. But we have these characters kind of on the run, and trying to go about these different heists, and exact this plan, and also kind of finding themselves. So yes, very very interesting film. Hilarious film, of course, and also at the same time, truly. I find this with Wes Anderson films. There is this kind of perhaps undescribable feeling, of nostalgic emotions, and just this kind of melancholy, I guess, and at the same time, kind of this whimsical feeling, and it's all here. It really is, and. The difference here really is just simply this film. I don't think it quite, I guess, Wes Anderson would go on to perfect, and, really, take these elements, of this film, the different kind of traits of this stylistically, of course, and just in the narrative, and the way in which the camera movements, kind of pan out, all this, kind of stuff. I think he would go on to kind of elevate this even further. So I don't really think this film has flaws. I just think it isn't quite a masterpiece, flat out, and I don't think it's as good as some of his other films. But I do think this is just truly a stunning film. But straight away, really, we have this bond that is felt very, very strongly between Dignan and, of course, Anthony. And, it's just so, the chemistry here, of course, between these two actors, Luke and Owen Wilson, is great. Them being brothers, of course, but really, just seeing the kind of the way in which this film, goes. It's really very much, a film that has a loose, kind of narrative, really. Although at the same time, we're always kind of aware of, their intentions and the motivations of the characters, and also just, I think. Perhaps the final act is less loose, and it really is, kind of very, very tense in a very different way to the film had been, until then. But not to say the film was without kind of tense moments up until this. Of course, at first when they're kind of trying to outrun the law and kind of in hiding, I guess, kind of in disguise and going about different places. Of course, we have the hotel in the kind of middle portion of the film, and we have this romance, this wonderful, kind of romance that forms between Anthony and Inez, and this truly is, wonderful to see. And Lumi Cavazos, playing, this character of Inez, and she really is just one of the best characters, in this film, and I loved the romance so much. Truly, truly beautiful, moving, and really, I guess, in some ways, sad at times, kind of love story in this film, and the separation that happens, after certain points in the film, really is just rooting for them to kind of end up again together. And we have, of course, different moments, in the final act where there's, it's kind of brought together and wrapped up. But of course, we have at the same time kind of an ambiguous nature to this, and you could say that about the film, itself, and it ends in a very, I guess, in some ways direct and kind of strong way to end the film. But it really is, I think, ambiguous as well, and just leaves the kind of sense of wonder when we end there, and just that fading. It really is just unforgettable, this film, and I loved these characters, as I say, and just the way in which we have a very straight away thoroughly investing narrative, and just the drive to this film. It's something I can take seriously fully, but it is very funny as well, and kind of this silly nature of these characters. It's just so kind of endearing and relatable. That's the thing. This bond, this relationship is so kind of instantly relatable and true to life, and at the same time very kind of fantastical. This film, but it really is kind of littered throughout these moments of kind of I guess you could say perhaps surrealism, but really, yes, fantastical qualities. It has this kind of dreamlike effect at times as well, but the visuals to this film are just remarkable, and I think the way in which we have these different shots and camera movements, of course, as well, again, it kind of suggests, what Wes Anderson would do with his later films, but I think it really is very unique as well, and I think this film here, it just simply isn't isn't kind of the approach, I guess, not quite, Wes Anderson, his later films. They are more precise, direct, and I think even more realised than this film, and I think, just kind of the way in which those films, most of them, of course, wrap up, just truly, I think, reach greater heights than this film, but, wow, just in awe of this, from a writing perspective, and just in the way in which he kind of directed this film, Wes Anderson, really is remarkable, and I think the way in which this film moved me and just really uplifted me. That's the thing, it's this kind of whimsical, I guess, upbeat and kind of strange at times film, and I just loved really every second of this, and going through the different acts, of course. The first act being very funny and unexpected, in places, and what will happen here, kind of thing. And then I think the middle portion, at times could be my favourite, of the film, and just this love story, and also seeing the characters kind of hanging out around this mainly one location, and just the bond, of course, growing and then kind of being broken as well, and different I guess dramatic moments, and kind of tension between the different characters, but also this kind of nostalgic element as well. Really is at its best here, in many regards. But then, of course, going on to the final act, we have this kind of epic, I guess, and really unforgettable, set of scenes, sequences, of course, and this final heist, of the film, I guess, really is just so kind of by this moment I was, kind of so invested in the characters and wondering what would happen here. Just the way in which it culminated truly was a satisfying, final act. So just every single thread, in this film is wrapped up so wonderfully. Of course, Inez and Anthony, the way in which she, contacts him again, and just this beautiful, kind of combination of that, kind of romance. It really is so kind of charming, uplifting, and just moving. Perhaps, not too much kind of screen time. In essence, is dedicated to this romance, but it's so felt and just so kind of complete in this film, and also, of course, the way in which we have Dignan being captured, in the final act, and him, of course, being imprisoned, and the kind of tragic, but kind of funny as well. Moment when he kind of says, I've got this plan to kind of to break out, once again, and then of course him revealing, it's just a joke. Really, at first it's funny, but then there is that kind of real tragedy to this film, and of course just the way in which the characters go off, of course at the end, the ending shots, and just seeing, of course, Dignan walking off back into his cell, I presume, and of course. Bob and and Anthony kind of as well going off as well, and just this really tragic feeling in the final act, but also different moments of hope, and ones that truly uplift me, and I love just once again I love the trio of characters, Bob, Anthony, and of course Dignan, and just seeing, of course, Robert Musgrave is really great in this film, and just a really kind of unique and funny character, and of course I think Luke Wilson is just so great in this film, and I think perhaps he is Anthony is one of my favourite kind of Wes Anderson characters, I guess, and just such a great protagonist, and of course Owen Wilson as well, is legendary in this film, and really again I guess these two characters, this pairing here, is one of the best kind of in a Wes Anderson film, and I think just the kind of warmth of this, and I think this film is full of heart, and just this beauty that I guess is very different to perhaps the way in which the films are shot, his later films, and the way they're presented, the editing as well, it's just so great in this film. The flow is wonderful, but different, very different to his other works, and it's just fascinating to see how Wes can create this this feeling, of course, that runs throughout this kind of quirky, and fantastical feeling, but really grounded characters, ones that I truly loved seeing, relatable characters, for example Anthony, and really just such a kind of comforting film. This it's kind of relaxed at times, I guess, and easygoing, natural, and but also kind of very tense, and kind of high stakes at different moments in the film, and just the way in which Wes Anderson creates this kind of world, and really makes me so invested, I guess, and even his light flourishes, different narrative, moments, story beats that happen, even the small ones, I'm so, 100%, kind of invested in, and I guess, it's just, I'm so kind of on the edge of my seat at times, in the different heists as well, and just it's down to the great storytelling, and kind of the way in which he made me care about these characters, and straight away really. And I think the first act has some moments where perhaps I guess later on in the film really is better than the first act perhaps, but I loved it all. I think just really stunning film, and I think yes, as I say, I don't really have any flaws or issues with the film really. I guess it's just not a film that is this kind of flat out masterpiece just for me, but I think at times it is quite close actually, and I think also, it may not be, as good as some of the Wes Anderson films for me overall, but it is, in some regards, on par with some of them actually. And I think, the characters and just the, for example, the relationships, some of them throughout the film, I guess you can compare, in terms of investment to some of his other works, really. And I think this is definitely on par with, in some regards, with a couple of his other films, just not overall as a piece. I think there are just some Wes Anderson films that I've seen that really, are just, another level really, of cinema, and take these elements and the way in which he made this film to another level, and just kind of elevate these elements. But really, this film here, Bottle Rocket, is just a film I absolutely loved. I adored this film. Uplifting, also tragic, and this kind of the sad ending, of course. For example, with Dignan, is really it's very moving, of course, and it has this feeling to it. But I guess so many moments, kind of whimsical nature, and just Inez and Anthony, this romance truly was so wonderful to see, and just this lovely visual, palette as well. It may not be as kind of intense, I guess, as many different films. The Grand Budapest Hotel, the color tones, and the palette in that film. But it's very much all thought out. Just planned so well, but not as precise, as some of them films, and it has this natural kind of in the moment feeling, I guess, and it does have these contemplative moments, but it really is just so kind of in the moment, I guess, this film, and it has this kind of laid back feeling, this natural feeling, which I love, and this kind of loose narrative, but it's always so investing, and it's so stunning to see, and just to take part in this narrative. These characters, of course, James Caan as well is great in this film. It's Abe Henry, and a character who is kind of built up and then finally revealed, and I guess just seeing James Caan playing this character, and the way in which this character is presented at first, it's just so satisfying. He lives up, I guess, to the kind of the name, and the way he was built up, previously, in the film, just through kind of dialogue, and yes, the dialogue in this film, the writing, is stunning, and just wonderfully presented. This film, the soundtrack, is beautiful as well, and just a very nostalgic, highly kind of affecting film, while also being very light and relaxed, and just kind of easygoing, and really is kind of a comfort watch, and one I'm kind of looking back on as just such a kind of wonderful experience. Watching this, in January, and just really uplifting me, and really kind of warming the heart, and beautiful film. Of course, my final rating for this film is a 96%. Yes, I absolutely love this this film. Of course, Wes Anderson is a genius, and this is just his first film, of course, feature film. But for me, I know this is not kind of perhaps loved too much overall, but I really did take to this one, and I think it's a remarkable film, and it may not be a flat-out masterpiece overall, but it really is a very special film, and it is going on my favourite films list, and somewhere perhaps, I don't know where, but it's just I love this film. It's so kind of pleasing, and satisfying, and I guess just this mystery to the film. For example, Anthony, a very mysterious character, but I get enough from all these different elements to kind of be so kind of enraptured in this experience, and it really is a wonderful work of art, this one, and Wes Anderson, just one of my easily one of my favourite kind of filmmakers, kind of who is about these days. He is a master, and this is just one of his great films. Once again, seeing this film was a treat, and a pleasure to see a Wes Anderson film, and go back to his debut feature film, and of course seeing where as well the Wilson brothers began, and seeing of course as well James Caan in this film, and the performances throughout were stunning. Of course Anthony, really especially so great in this film. The character of Anthony, played by Luke Wilson, he was so good in this film. This perfect performance really, and Inez as well. Wonderful character, and all the performances throughout are just so memorable, and really a unique film. This one, very very unique indeed, but also just so kind of instantly relatable, and kind of this natural feeling, but also this kind of I guess at times precise feeling, just not as much as some of his other works, Wes Anderson, but this film here, Bottle Rocket, really was a wonderful film, and I think just I recommend this to anyone just who loves cinema, and this is just a truly great indie film. Unfortunately, did not do too well, in terms of box office, but it was recognised, and he kind of. Anderson, was kind of respected from this film, and just many different individuals took notice, you could say, of him, and it's a very acclaimed film, but it didn't really, unfortunately, do too well, as I say, box office wise. But of course, he is a very well-known director now, and it's great to see. And he truly, I guess, delivered a stunning film, and goes to show, he was, kind of, it led to, many more films, and of course, he's, respected director now, and his films do very well most of the time at the box office. So yes, it's just great to see. This film has gained more as well attention, and I guess love over the years, and I must say I love this film, and cannot wait to see this again sometime, and really many Wes Anderson films to kind of rewatch again and again, and I've got a few left now as well to see for the first time, and of course he has as well at some point being the French Dispatch being released, and I look forward to that massively, and yes, just again rewatching many more of his films over time, and yes, what do you think of this film? It'd be great to hear, and just to hear your thoughts on this film, and really to talk about Wes Anderson. It's always great, and I look forward to this. And yes, Bottle Rocket for me personally was a stunning film, and really I loved it, and it's definitely going on my favourite films list. And I don't love this as much as some of the Wes Anderson films, but I won't reveal where it is on my ranking. You'll have to wait. When I actually do my ranking, I look forward to doing that. But until then, let's just talk about the films. From Wes Anderson, and yes. Bottle Rocket. It'd be great to hear your thoughts. So yes, as always, take care, and thanks for watching.